So in this video, I'm going to break down how I was able to generate 1,800 leads from a single lead magnet and then convert that traffic into over $25,000 worth of revenue for a single paid program completely passively over the last 2 years. So the biggest thing you're going to have to decide on is how are we going to build this lead magnet and what actually makes sense. So the biggest decision you're going to have to make is what is the medium and how are you going to deliver this lead magnet. So the big thing is you also want to make sure that it makes sense for whatever service or product that you are delivering and what you're trying to drive traffic to ultimately. So you can have a document, this could be a PDF, this could be an ebook, this could be an in-person, hey, free 1-day trial, free 7-day trial, free 30-minute service, whatever it may be. It could also be a video, so it could be a 30-minute webinar. It could be a mini course where it's, hey, 7 steps, and then there's maybe 30 more steps or a service on the back end of it that you deliver. It could also be something where it's plug and play, where, hey, I have these documents, you can input these into your business, and then it basically just works. So there's a whole bunch of different mediums that you can use to deliver. The biggest thing is you want to make sure that it makes sense for whatever business you have. You wouldn't necessarily want to do, say, a PDF or a document for an in-person service. You could do it, but is it going to lead to the best results? Most likely not. So you want to make sure that the medium that you're choosing makes sense for the ultimate service or product that you're trying to deliver in the end. Now, there's another big decision you're going to have to make. Is this going to be free or are you going to charge at least something? Now, the simplest way to make this decision is if you are charging, say, less than $100, $200, you probably want to make it free, especially if you're selling, a digital course, maybe you're selling a $50 product. It's probably best to do a free lead magnet because, again, in the price range, you wouldn't want to charge something $10 to get somebody to buy something for $50. Doesn't really make as much sense. You might not get as much traffic. Now, if you're selling something that's high ticket, maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, yeah, you probably want to charge for it, even if it's just a little bit, because you're going to see that, okay, this customer, this person who's inquiring on this is willing to spend money and is most likely more serious about what they're trying to solve. Again, if you're selling something business related, maybe you're selling a service for business growth, marketing, ads, copywriting, whatever it may be. If it's a high ticket service, yeah, you probably want to see that they're willing to spend $9 to $27. That's usually a good price point where it's essentially free for them and based on what they're going to pay. But again, it kind of just increases the barrier to entry to show that they are serious and you're going to get better quality leads. So you can go free, but you might not get the best quality leads that are going to actually convert into clients. You could go low cost, and again, you might get a little bit less, but they're going to be higher quality. So that is another thing that you guys can decide on doing. Obviously, you guys can mix and match some of these things. You can do a lead magnet for all of these. I would recommend focusing, at least in the beginning, solely on one and maximizing and really getting great at that one thing and driving all of your traffic to that if you build it right. Now, the next thing is, okay, what are you actually going to put inside of this lead magnet? Number one is it should solve one problem essentially completely. Like if you're selling, especially if you're selling at cost or even for free, you want that free thing to be so good that they're like, wow, if this is what I'm getting for free, what I'm going to pay for is probably going to be amazing. So a couple of different examples for this. In the free lead magnet that I did, it was how to build your own shooting workouts. So it literally gave them everything that they needed to know about this. So there's so many questions. Players have all these questions. I consolidated all the normal questions that people have on that topic and answered every single one and gave them exactly what to do for each of those. So it completely solved that problem. Solving that problem leads back into the next problem that they're probably going to have, which is, okay, how do I actually implement all this stuff, which is where that program came in. Okay, now you have all the information you need, but I don't know how to organize this information and utilize it. That's where your product can come in and then solve that next problem. So there's obviously a lot of different ways that you can do this depending on what product or what service you guys are providing. But again, try to solve one problem, try to deliver so much value, and then lead them right into your actual product or service that you're trying to solve or sell down the road. Now, how do we actually drive traffic to the lead magnet? If you can have a lead magnet, that's great. But if no one signs up for your lead magnet, it essentially doesn't mean anything. So one of the best ways that you can do this, and the way that we did it, was via YouTube and engaging in high SEO content. So what are things that people are searching for within our audience, and then putting the lead magnet on the back of that. So two of our biggest videos that we had that drove a ton of traffic to it was how to actually train by yourself as a basketball player. That led right into our lead magnet, which, okay, they have some certain questions. Now they have the lead magnet, which is going to answer those questions, and then we have our service or our product that's going to solve that next problem, right? So we were able to generate 483,000 views for this video. Probably were able to get at least 1,000 leads just off that video alone. Then we had another one, how to actually get better at basketball. Again, something that's highly searched, something where there's driving a lot of traffic to it because it's so broad. And then our lead magnet is a little bit more narrow. It's going to get more of the serious people, answer those questions that they have. And again, then the next thing is going to lead right into our product or our service. So really good to start to make YouTube content around questions that your audience is going to have and then drive that traffic then into your lead magnet. So again, a lot of different ways you can do it. You could do the same thing for social media, then into an in-person service. It works the exact same way. And that is what we do for our in-training business as well. Then you can obviously do social media posts. This is a good one where you can do comment free for a free whatever, right? It was a free shooting workout, which is our lead magnet. You can set it up so it's an automatic DM where, hey, if anyone comments this word, automatically sends them to it. You can have some AI automations to do that. We probably got another 100, 200 comments on that. So we're able to generate another couple hundred leads from that. Now, the next thing is you can obviously do stories. This works great every now and then. Hey, just kind of quick refresher. This was a little bit of a different lead magnet, I believe. It was a free 3-day finishing program, but we did the same thing for the shooting workout. And again, probably generate another 50, 100 leads. So you're able to extract people off of YouTube. You're able to extract people off of Instagram. You're able to extract people off of your stories who follow you, who maybe just don't engage, who haven't clicked your link in your bio, haven't filled out their information. Just another good way to incentivize people to do that. You can also then get people off of your website, which is another one of the best ways to do it. So you want to make sure that you're highlighting and promoting, hey, this is our free lead magnet. Utilize it, right? A lot of people tend to hide these things like, oh, I'm having something for free. I don't want to give too much value. You should promote it like a paid product because ultimately that's what they're going to end up doing. So you don't even necessarily need to promote your paid product so much if you're promoting your free lead magnet, which is going to get you the leads, get you people into your product, and especially once they try it, once they utilize that information, once they get a little bit more trust, which is ultimately what your lead magnet is doing, is starting to build trust, right? Because a free lead magnet, or even very cheap, there's not a whole lot of trust that's involved to really take that next step, but then you can build trust with your free lead magnet by it being so good, having so much value that they're like, wow, this is really good. I trust this person. Then they're more likely to take that next step. And again, like I said, the lead magnet markets that product or service. So you don't even need to market it as much when, hey, my free lead magnet is so good, it's going to market whatever else I'm doing. Now, the next thing is frequency and novelty. So you want to frequently be pushing that free lead magnet, but after a while, you may need to change it up. After maybe a year, 6 months, 3 months, depending on the frequency of how you're doing it, you may need to build a new one. So it could be something completely different, or it could be something that's, hey, I built a free lead magnet for this. Now the next step, I'm going to build another one for that. Then the next step after that is your paid product or your service. So don't just completely use one forever, but don't just always switch it up. You need some sort of frequency and novelty. You just got to find that right balance. Now, next is how do we actually turn this into dollars? 2 best ways to do this is email nurture and provide value in your email. So again, continuing to solve certain problems that your audience is going to have, provide value or exaggerate the problem that they're having, and then again, fit right into that email your solution, which is your paid product or your service. So that's the easy way to do it, where I would usually go like a 3-to-1 ratio where I'm just providing value. Maybe you have a link at the bottom, hey, program here, but you're not necessarily selling it. Then you can have one where you're really selling it, the benefits, everything that's included, why they should do it from an emotional standpoint, from a logical standpoint. But you don't want to just be completely salesy, because again, that's when people are going to jump off, unsubscribe from your email. You want to make sure you're mainly providing value, and then boom, you're kind of just putting your product in there as a solution to a lot of those problems. The next thing you can do off of that is retargeting ads. So you can generate with these emails, you can start to build lists. And obviously, if you're driving people to these platforms, they're on your social media, so you can do retargeting ads to these people into your paid products or into your services. So they're likely going to see it, they're going to benefit from your lead magnet, and then you can turn them into paid customers. So this is usually the route that you're going to take for almost any product or service that you have. Now, if you guys have a business, you guys are trying to figure out, hey, what could I do for a lead magnet? Feel free to comment down below, and I will try to give you guys some ideas. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you got some value. See you guys next video soon. Peace.